Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. This ought to be very interesting. This is Stone Brewing Stochasticity. This is their Golden Stout. This is their Project Master of Disguise. Let me read off the bottle. Stone Stochasticity Project Master of Disguise Imperial Golden Stout. Stout brewed with cocoa and coffee beans. And the beer is just as clear as it can be through the bottle. So that's blowing everything out of the water as far as a stout being a dark, black, opaque. Some of them are a little brownish, reddish color, and there's a little bit of light coming through them. But most of the heavy Imperial stouts are black as used motor oils, guys. And this is just as clear as it can be. So that tells me they've used a lighter grain to do this, and maybe throw some cocoa nibs or something in to get the chocolate, and maybe some coffee in to get some of that darker essence in there. But as far as getting that black color, it is not. This is a golden stout. I don't think I've ever had anything like this as far as the color in a stout. I mean, if you wanted to fool somebody and didn't like dark beers and then wanted to try a stout, this may be what you'd want to grab up and pour it in a glass, because it's going to look a lot lighter than most typical stouts are in the glass. Because this is pretty clear through the bottle, so I imagine it's going to look pretty clear in the glass. So let's see what it brings. Some of this stuff that they do, I'm a big fan of Stones, but this is their sort of side project or out-of-the-box series, the Stochasticity project stuff. So we'll see where it goes. I may love it, and then again, I might not be impressed with it. So I've not had this beer before. Parrish sent me this beer. As a matter of fact, I've not seen this, and I've seen a couple of different Stochasticity projects that I picked up. But he sent me this one. I guess he wanted me to have it. I don't know whether he's had it or liked it. He has not told me, so maybe he'll put some comments in there whether he thought it was a winner or not. So, the commercial description on this, and this is a 9.7% ABV beer, guys. So, they say in the IBUs are 55 on this. It says things aren't always what they seem, but not all deception is devious. Some illusions and misnomers lead to life's most delightful surprises. Case in point, this beer, the Yang to the Yin, that is Black India Pale Ale, once revolutionary for its ounce appearance, is now accepted and beloved member of the IPA family tree. Thus we took the spirit of the dark brew, the time-honored stout, and applied a similar science of thought, brewing it to the golden hued. This is what experimental series and the latest creations are all about. Cocoa and coffee beans impart roastiness and darkness to the brew, or darkening to the brew, while flaked oats provide an enveloping mouthfeel. The result is a stout that looks more like a blonde, but it is regularly beauty at heart. I'm not sold on this, guys. You probably guessed that already. I like my stouts dark, so I don't know what to expect from this. This is going to be more or less either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. So we're going to see where I end up in the category on this one, and see if I can tell the difference whether I was blindfolded or not, or if somebody else could. The food pairings for this style of beer is, typically it says it goes well with your chocolate dishes, but I mean all those flavors head that direction, but with the golden ale, I'm not too sure. Cheese is a buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss. It does have chocolate digestive. The meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware is a pint Becker non tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. We bring out the double glass for this. And according to this, it says can be sold for long periods under the proper conditions. Well, at that ABV, I would not argue with that. So, and as far as dating, it does have something on it. So we'll read that off as we get to the end of it. And a lot of their dating stuff can be wiped off fairly easy. So this one actually has it on there. So we'll see where it goes. 9.7. Let's go down the center. Doesn't pour much of a head. We'll leave some of that in there for the other half. I'm sure she'd like to have a glass of it, whether I like it or not. A lot of stuff I don't like, she'll drink. Or I would just pour it down the drain. Over into the light, it is clear as a bell. I mean, if this is a stout, it is a master of disguise, as the bottle says. I can see the bulb right through it. It's not cloudy whatsoever. There are a few bubbles streaming up, but it is not super carbonated. Doesn't look like it is to me. And the head is basically dissipated. Just basically covering the top of the beer. Well, it's that time. Let's get a nose on it. Parrish, thanks again, brother, for sending it to me. I'm getting the coffee, so we know they've introduced coffee to it. But the coffee, I'm not getting a whole lot of chocolate. Whether they use cocoa nibs or what they've done to get the coffee part, I mean the chocolate part of it in there. I'm getting the coffee. And basically that's all I'm getting on the nose is coffee. I would say roasted malt, but looking at the color, there is no roasted malt in there. Because the beer would be darker if it was. Getting coffee. Smells like coffee, guys. If I was blindfolded, I would say, that's a cup of coffee in front of me. Smells like coffee? Let's see if it tastes like coffee. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Parrish. There may be a slight hint of some chocolate in there, but the coffee is overwhelming it. To me, it's like they brewed a lighter beer and they've infused it with some coffee, evidently some lightly colored coffee, to keep it this blonde. As far as the stout, I'm not buying that. It don't have the body of a stout. It don't have the mouthfeel of a stout. I'm just getting coffee. Coffee and a hint of, a very slight hint of some chocolate, guys. And the 55 in the bitterness, I was going to say it tastes a little more bitter than that, but it's got enough sweetness up on the front end to balance that out. It's not overly bitter. I don't know what to think about this. This seems like to me it tastes like a coffee blonde. It tastes like a blonde ale with some coffee in it. It doesn't have the creaminess, it doesn't have the mouthfeel. It doesn't have the roasted malt taste to me. To me, I'm going to be straight up honest with you, just chucking it as cold right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. It tastes like a gimmick beer to me. And I'm a big fan of Stones, but I'm quite sold on this one. So let me let her have a half a bottle of this, pour her a glass of it, and I'll sip on it for about 20-30 minutes and see where we end up with it. I'm not sold on it yet, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit, maybe a little more than a little bit. Let me hit it again. The coffee is definitely there, guys. It's big in the coffee flavor. You just don't have the creamy mouthfeel. And looking at it, it's very elusive to what it actually is. It looks like a golden ale, or I mean, even in the glass, it looks like an IPA or some kind of pale ale. Not even to the porter color or to the stout color. And I can taste that difference in the malt that's used there. But it doesn't have the rich malty flavor to me. To me, just my opinion. I mean, there's some other people probably just love this to death. It's a gimmicky beer. The coffee is definitely there. I mean, it is definitely infused with coffee. But it's thin, it's not creamy. It doesn't have the roasted malt taste to me. It tastes like a blonde ale with coffee. It really does. And maybe because I've seen the color, if I'd have done this review blindfolded, I might have a different opinion. But looking at it and tasting it, it's just not working for me. Final chug. It tastes like a dark beer as far as the coffee and the hint of chocolate. But there's no dark fruit, there's no roasted malt, there's no creaminess to it. To me, it tastes like a blonde ale with coffee. That's the best I can say. To me, it's a gimmicky beer. They wanted to brew something. They wanted to brew a blonde stout, and that's what they've done or are attempting to do. And it's just not working for me. I don't know if I'm prejudiced in seeing that color of the beer and tasting that, but to me it's lacking in the roasted malt, it's lacking in the creaminess, it's lacking in it's lacking in a whole lot of aspects to me other than having the coffee in it. But yeah, I mean, it just tastes like a blonde ale with coffee. That's what I'm getting off of it. But Paris, thanks again for sending this one. It just didn't work for me, buddy. To me, if I'm wanting to drink a stout and I pick this up, I'm disappointed because there are so many other things that go with that stout, especially one that's almost 10%. This is 9.7%. So it's an almost 10%er, and it's well made as far as that aspect. I'm not getting the alcohol, so it's very well. It's not boozy whatsoever. So it's a well-made beer, but it's lacking in some aspects, because this would be an Imperial stout, technically. And they're calling, and actually, Gregsbeer is calling this an American strong ale. And I would not argue with that. It is basically an American strong ale infused with coffee. That's where I would put the bottom line on this one. An American strong ale infused with coffee. So it's a strong ale, which is a lighter colored beer. They're not even classifying it as a stout. It's a strong ale, and I would say it's a strong ale infused with coffee. So we're going to leave it there, guys. As far as I'm concerned, it does have a date on the bottle. This one was done on, and it was almost impossible to read even after the beer was gone. I had to get the Santa Claus glasses out and look and twist and try to figure out what it exactly said. But this one's done on December the 4th of 2014. So, tad about 5 weeks old, and wasn't blown away by this beer. I really wasn't. I'm kind of disappointed in it, but it is what it is. If you're wanting somebody that don't like dark beers to try a stout, this would maybe be one of them you could pour and say, well, it's not dark. Well, I'll probably like this. A lot of people are just scared of that dark beer. I don't like dark beer. I don't like dark beer. Why don't you like dark beer? Because it's a dark beer. It's dark. That don't make any sense to me. But if you want somebody to try a stout or something similar to a stout, because I don't consider this a stout, it's a beer you might want to slip in on them and say, well, here, try this one. And especially if they're coffee lovers. If they're a coffee lover, they're probably going to like this. They really are. Especially if they don't like dark beers and like coffee. But anyway, it does have a date on it. It's almost impossible to read. So I'm going to give this a 6, which is a B. It does have a date on it. If it didn't have a date on it, it'd probably get a B-. But it does have a date on it, even though it's almost impossible to see. I was able to decipher it once I put the glasses on it and looked at it. But it just didn't do it for me, guys. It doesn't have a whole lot of qualities that most stouts have. So the B for me is what it gets. It gets the 6 in the scale tonight. So over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 83 in the good range. I wouldn't argue with that. If I was putting a numeric rating on it, it would probably be somewhere between an 83 and an 85. So we're probably pretty close in the ballpark with those guys. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 94, but 79 in the style. Wouldn't argue with those numbers at all. It's got a good taste. The alcohol is well hidden. It's a well-made beer. Of course, those guys at Stone know how to brew beer and not be boozy. But it's missing some qualities there. And as far as style-wise, it's not. To me, it's not a stout. It's a strong ale infused with coffee, and that's where I'm going to put it. And they've got Imperial Golden Stout written on the bottle, and I would disagree with that. Just my opinion, but it's more like a strong ale infused with coffee. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If you've had this one from Stone or Stochasticity, Project Master of Disguise, and it is. I mean, they're trying to brew something that has a lot of the dark qualities, and they didn't come through to me. The coffee did, and just a hint of the chocolate, but nothing else did. No roasted malt, no creamy mouthfeel, no dark fruit, none of that stuff came through to me. So it is what it is. It was okay. Parrish, thanks again, brother, for sending me this one. Didn't blow me away on this one. I'm kind of disappointed with the with Stone on this one, but it is what it is. They probably did the best they could, not putting that roasted malt in, or any lactose, or any of the other stuff that a lot of the brewers do for Russian Imperial stouts. So it is what it is. If you've had this one from Stone, the Master of Disguise, let me know what you think, and we may even try to get a real stout. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day, but come on back tomorrow. We'll take a look in the fridge together, see if we can dig something good out. See you then.